Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. Are you raring to go? It's our last time that we will meet, sort of in person, until August 12th. And on August 12th, I'll have brand new art, a brand new art printable for you that, oh my gosh, totally different, so different than anything we've done before. I can't wait for you to see. But on Monday, there'll be more art. This Monday, there will be more art for us to play with. But today, we are kicking it old school. Today, we are bringing back, let's see, a little bit crooked. Sorry about that. Today, we are kicking it old school. We are bringing back one of my favorite art printables. They're all my favorites, as you can imagine. It's like picking a favorite child. You can't. But this one is so summery and so fun, and I think everybody's going to have a great time with it. So, if you are brand new here, or you haven't done this just yet, if you would like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment, keep the conversation going, get to know me better. I want to get to know you better. You know, all the things. And like, invite new friends into our artsy group. If you would do all of those things on the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Anne Facebook group, and Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. Okay, so today we are playing with, that's my background that we just made, remember? Today we are playing with the Melissa art printable. Good morning, Lindy Barnes. Oh, is it hot and humid? Is it hot and humid on Lake Anne? I bet you it is. It's that time of year. I know, it's kind of crazy. I just read something yesterday about the weather in Michigan, the heat index and the humidity has just been insane. Just insane. Anyway, good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Christy. How are you? Be sure to like I said, like and comment, say hello, say good morning, say good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So we're going to play with the Melissa art printable today. Drippy, humid, and near 90. The heat index is dangerous. Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, I just, the last time I was home, when my cousin Lisa and I were tromping around in the bush, it was so humid, and you know what is and it was like 75, so I thought, I'm fine. Holy smokes, by the time I got back to her house, I was so overheated. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so we are going to be playing with the Melissa art printable, which is full of citrus, and our Karin Markers today. If you don't know about Karin Markers, you absolutely should. So Karin Markers are let's see, let me find a bright one so you can see. So They are a water-based ink marker. They have this cool vial on the side so you can see where your, I don't know if you can, if I pull that up to there, if you can see how much ink you still have inside. Lovely, right? They are a brush tip, and like I said, they are water-based, so you can do a couple of things that I like to do. So let's play with, let's see, is this gold and canary? So I'm going to play with canary just so you can see. So what I like to do, because I like my, you can color certainly straight onto your surface, or you can scribble it on a craft mat. You can't really see that, but trust me that it's there. Then you're going to take some water on your brush. Now you've got like a watercolor paint, and watch. That's the greatest. It's the greatest. And here's the other cool thing. You can I just want to get a base coat on here. I use the tiny brush. No idea why. Because it was laying right beside me. Okay, so you can do this, right? And then let's do the rind of this slice. Right? Just to get a little. Let's try this one instead. This is a little filbert. Let's get some color in here. Okay, so here, so you can pull color, just like when you're watercoloring. You can pull color from an area that has too much color, because your brush will like soak that up, right? And then you can move that color to another area, right? Good morning, Nancy. I'm glad you get your Karin Markers out. I love mine. I love them. Okay, so now we can take our marker and add some straight color, right along the edge there. You can do a couple things. You can leave it as is, or you can come back in with a wet brush and just jiggy-jaggy blend that out. So cool, right? I just like to kind of feather the color out into the base. Then you're going to get that really nice form. You know, we're always kind of, that's kind of always our goal, right? To create form with color. Okay, so I want this pith to be just a little bit yellow. I don't want the stark white. So I'm going to get some really watered down yellow. I think this is canary yellow in there, right? Now we're going to do some other things. So we can, like we did over here, we can do the same thing on the rind, right? The rind is, the edge of the rind is very yellow, and then it gets whiter as it gets closer to the fruit, right? So we're going to very, very carefully add just that little skinny little line of color all the way around. Remember, turn your substrate so it's comfortable for your hand. You don't have to try and, you know, color or move color like that. You don't. There's a million ways to rectify that. The easiest being turn your substrate. Right, so now let's soften that ever so slightly with my damp brush. If you get too much pigment on your brush, remember, just wipe it off on your paper towel. Okay, there we go. So we have a base of color there, right? We still need to do our stem and our leaves, but let's leave those to get all the way dry, and then we can build on that some more. Since this is 90-pound watercolor paper, it can only absorb so much, right? So if we let it dry, then we can put more layers on top. Okay. So we can start on this slimline piece, or we can start on this piece of fruit down here. And I'm thinking, let's make this a lime. So, a couple of ideas. So I'm going to pull. So I do have my swatch chart. Remember, a swatch chart is just your best friend. Okay, so sulfur yellow is a really bright yellowy green. So let's find that. There's sulfur yellow. And then we want lime green, apple. Let's find the lime green. There we go, lime green, right? And those are 3 good colors for us to play with. I'm telling you, a swatch chart is worth its weight in gold because you can use it over and over and over again. Sorry, wiping my nose. Okay, so let's do the same thing with the lime, and let's get some base colors down. So sulfur yellow is our lightest, so let's start with that. So we're going to scribble down on the craft mat. And we're going to add water. Make this watercolor. You know, it's so funny. I am normally drawn to warm yellow, like a buttery yellow, like a almost like an orangey yellow. But when I'm painting citrus fruit, I want it to be like a green yellow, right? Like a cool yellow. So let's fill this in. Remember, we're going to do everything with the watery layer, and then we'll build on there, right? So the waterier layer, you're still going to get a hint of that color, but you're going to, and it just has to be kind of a rough cut, kind of application of color. Now I'm coming back in with a little more concentrated, but not much, right? I'm just little by little. And then I'm just doing that jiggy blend. Get that water out, or get that pigment out. Now I'm going to take that same sulfur yellow. Good morning, Joni. I'm going to come around the edge. Remember, this is just our beginning build, right? Just beginning. We have many more colors to add to this. Right, there we go. All right, Now let's turn, turn, turn. I'm going to take that same end of the pen and do that same technique where we're just going to barely touch the edge of this rind and start to build that depth from the rind to the pith. Right? And then I'm going to take that damp brush and do that jiggy jaggy blend. And the cool thing is, because we coated everything with a really watery layer of color, it is, what do I want to say? You never have that stark white, which is nice. Okay, so let's come back up to our lemon. So we can take this green and paint in the leaves. And we don't have to do like solid, we just want to get color in there, right? So we don't waste color. Just get some color going in there. Okay, now I want to let these dry, and then I think I want to start working on the pieces over here. So I feel like I either want this to be grapefruit or orange slices. And remember that I want this to be my base. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. I want this to be my base in my art journal. So here's my colors, right? Oh, everybody take a drink. So I'm thinking, what if we do a little bit of both? What if we do some orange and some pink, so we have everybody's represented, right? So let's see, I have amber. Let's see if I have something. Amber, I love amber, but look at how dark that is. So maybe I go gold first, or blush even. I have a pale orange, but that's still pretty dark. So let's go blush, pale, and then amber. So let's see. Blush. I think this is pale pink. Maybe. I think soft peach might be what blush used to be. It seems like I kind of remember that name getting changed. Because you know, skin tone is not only one color. Skin tone is all the colors. So maybe blush. Blush isn't the same on everyone. So that's why they called it soft peach, which is what I'm kind of thinking. So let's get this base. And remember, I just want a base of color to build on, right? And I'm going to be fussy cutting all these pieces and building a kind of a an artsy assemblage in my art journal on my other collage page. Okay, so I have that. And now I thought I had pale orange. Here we go. Pale orange. Hmm. So I'm just gonna do. Stop it. Loving it. I'm loving it. And I can certainly do other bits and bobs, right? I can do other pieces. I just wanted to show you my base. Okay, let's see. Everybody take a drink again. So let's do pale pink. This is going to be grapefruit. So let's, here we go. And remember, we just want a base of color. Okay, now for the lemon, because lemon was our first foray. Let's cut it apart. Our first piece of citrus fruit, right? Oh, and by the way, I printed these on 90-pound watercolor paper. I think I said that earlier, but now I don't remember. Anyway, so we'll set those things aside to dry, and let's concentrate on the lemon now. So I know that I want to bring in that sulfur yellow. I just feel like that's going to add some. I have neon canary, I have canary, and I think I have gold, which we'll see. And I have neon yellow, but let's look at that. Let's see, where's my neons? Oh, I think they're on the next page. Neon yellow and neon canary. Neon canary is quite orange, so we're not going to use that. Neon yellow we will use. We have neon yellow green. We might play with that a little bit, but neon yellow for sure. So let's put neon canary back and add neon yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to start all of these. I don't know what it's actually called, but the in each of these segments is broken up into these bits, right? So I want to just randomly fill these fibrous bits of fruit with shades of color, right? Because I want really nice dimension to just kind of start happening. There we go. See how that's already adding some cool dimension. And now let's try gold. We can add gold at the tippity top of the ones that we filled with canary. Just add some dimension and form, right? I'm just moving that color around with my brush. That's already, oh my gosh. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. So let's do a watery wash. Of that gold. That is making me so happy. So happy. Right? Just gonna let that dry and then we will. I am using, you know, my favorite, Lindy. It's a number 2 round by Princeton and the line is called Snap, S-N-A-P, and I love them. I have the Filberts, I have them in big brushes, I have them in, I love that Snap line, and I love, Beam has a really nice, I don't know that they have a number 2, but I know they have a number 4 and a number 6, and their Beam paints out of Manitoulin Island, they have really, they know their paints, and so their brushes are superb. They also have a nice Snap. So Beam paints number 4, and anything from the Snap line, which is a Princeton line of brushes. I love them. Okay, so I want to let this dry. Oh, maybe I could turn, and I could work on the leaves a little bit. So let's come in with sulfur yellow. Let's scribble a little bit down. And you see, we're not in a rush this morning, right? We're just taking our time. Building shape and form with color. And I'm just following the depth of color that my paint kind of created. I'm not, I didn't do it on purpose, if that makes any sense. So I'm just laying some color down and I'm just gonna let it sit. And then we'll blend it out in a minute. Okay, now let's play with the lime a little bit more. So I want to bring this okay. Now, because I did sulfur yellow already, now I have lime green and apple. Apple being the darkest, so we're going to set that aside. And we're going to come in with lime green. And I'm going to come in, and we're just going to start to build that edge. Right, I just laid down some color. Wet my brush and then tapped it off, so now I just have a damp brush that I'm working with. I'm just going to do that jiggy blend. Okay, but I do know that I'm going to have a little bit of a shadow right here because one thing is laying on top of another thing, right? So I'm going to lay down some lime green and then blend that out with a jiggy blend. Oh, that's looking perfect. And now, let's get a little bit more shape over here. I'm not going right to the edge. I'm leaving that little bit of space between the edge and the color because that's going to give you immediate shape, right? Just jiggy blend that out. Remember, extra pigment, wipe it on your paper towel. Let's do the same down here. Damp, tap off on your paper towel. Do the same, jiggy blend. And only this time, let's take that excess paint and move it over here in this area. And work on that jiggy blend just a little bit more. We're starting to look like a not ripe lemon. So we're going to, but we're going to build those colors, right? We're going to build it till it looks like a lime. But now let's start to color in the fruit. So we're going to start with lime green on our craft mat, add some water to that, and then we're going to start painting in little segments. I don't know what they're called actually. I shouldn't call them segments, I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? All these little pieces of lime goodness. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good, you guys. One more area, I think, down here. It's looking a little unbalanced. Okay, I need to let that go. You know, that's difficult to let it go. So let's set this one aside. Let's see how the lemon is doing. Is it dry? Not quite yet. So let's let that one go, and then let's play with so we could do all of these oranges and grapefruits. Good morning, Valerie. How are you doing this morning? We are playing with the Melissa art printable. We're just filling this one and our Karin markers, which are the bomb diggity. I just love them. Let's do this big one. So just building this slow build. And it's okay if it's a slow build, you guys. It's okay if we don't finish in our allotted time. It's okay. Oh, I have some extra paint right there. Pull that down into this. Right? Because this whole process should be super enjoyable, not like a race, not, you know. Okay. Loving that. Now let's get that pale, what did I have? Pale peach. That's what I did here. So let's do this one. I'm going to do lots of slices of citrus fruit, right? And then we'll do down here. I'm telling you, Karin markers are just the bomb diggity Valerie, because they are let's get some more orange in here. I'm feeling like, because they are a water-based ink, you can, their uses are many, right? So I am, as you can see, I scribbled it on a craft mat, and I'm adding water to make it watercolor paint, right? So I'm going to paint the edge to make this more orange-like. I'm just doing that jiggy blend out. And then this one is also doing that jiggy blend. Okay, but here's the other thing, Valerie. So once I have that base down, look, I can come back in here with my pen directly to the paper, and it's going into wet, so it's automatically moving. I can add more color to these segments of the orange. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it so much. Right? I can do the same here. And if it feels like it's a little too, like if the substrate is a little bit dry, I've taught so many classes on Karin markers, so many. So I'm just going to get a bit of color down. And then I can come in with my damp brush, right, and just start to build. I hope it's making you happy to watch too. Right? Okay, so you see I have some color down. I'm going to take my number 2 round, and then I'm just going to start to do that jiggy blend. And start to move that color around to the point that it feels cohesive with everything else around it. There we go. Got that little tiny bit right there. And if you overshoot the lines, that's okay. Because it's all segments of orange, right? Of an orange. And they're divided, but they're separate but equal. To use a phrase. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now let's come down here and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do that jiggy blend to blend out some of those segments, right? Oh, this one is orange also. Everybody take a drink. Okay, let's see. Soft pink. So I'm gonna come back in. I'm barely touching the tip of this marker. On my substrate. You see why they will last you forever and a day? Forever. And then just like my colored pencils or any medium that I have, when I use one up, then I just replace just that one. I think cerise I used up, and gold. I think those are the only ones that I've used up all the way. So now let's start adding. I'm just starting to grow my depth of my orange. But just know you can, you can certainly keep building. If you don't like the patterning that you did, then you can just add more, right? Tap, tap, tap. And let's move that color out. That's the beauty of a Karin marker, is that you have such control . You're the one who gets to decide. You know what I mean? Ta-ta! Stop it. I'm loving it so much, you guys. So I'm just going to keep growing, little by little. So now let's come in with that soft pink. We're going to do much the same. We're going to come around the edge. And this soft pink is like kind of the coolest, it's like the perfect pink grapefruit color. Because it's just really reminiscent of a pink grapefruit. I love a pink grapefruit. Don't you? Okay. There we go. Now we'll do this one, and then we'll come back in with our damp brush. Don't forget that tomorrow is Back to Art School 103. You guys, if you like creating artsy papers or creating, how do I want to say? Creating art with any any like unusual art supplies, like say whiteout tape, Bic ink pens, Crayola washable watercolors. I'm going to show you so many things that you can do with those supplies and more, like a compass, like we're going to do many things with the Crayola washable watercolors. I have so many, I can't even tell you how many things. And so you get 6 art supplies, which are school supplies. Oh, Elmer's glue. That one is super, super cool. Okay, I see this is looking a little harsh up here, so let's soften that. So not only do you get the artsy things to do with, and it's more than 6 techniques, but then you also, I've created written instructions for you for your reference file with lots of tips and tricks included. I've also, where's my soft pink? I want to start doing my segments in my grapefruit. I've also began, I also created 4 new vintage puppetry that is included in your class fee. Those will go on sale on Monday, but if you sign up for a class, those 4 vintage puppetry are included in your fee, so that's cool, right? And it's just oh my gosh, I had so much fun creating with those school supply art supplies. I think you will love it. And it's only $30 for 2 jam-packed hours. And I am so jazzed. You'll be using these techniques in your art forever. I'm telling you. You're gonna have so much fun. Okay, so now let's come back. And start that jiggy jiggy blend, filling in these segments. I had this salad once that was like a base of romaine, and then on top of the base of romaine was oh my gosh, it was the best salad. It was segments of oranges and grapefruits, but like peeled, so it was just pure fruit, salt and pepper and Parmesan cheese. Sounds so simple, but it was the most gosh, it was the best salad. Gosh, it was the best salad. It was like the perfect blend. Do you ever have something that you're like, somebody really thought out the perfect blend of flavors? So, so good. And I have replicated that salad so many times at home. Oh, it's looking so good, you guys. And here's the thing, I'm thinking like I could continue on with my Karin markers over and over and over again. Then I could add some details with my colored pencils if I wanted. I could do some gel pen if I wanted, right? Think about the different, because you have all these little bitty segments, right? That you could add other mediums to. That needs a little work, a little blending out, right? So fascinating to me, the color that you put down, and then the color it turns when you add water, and then the color it turns when it dries. Fascinating. Fascinating. Ugh, I'm loving that so much. What's my soft pink? So if it is hot near you, you might give that salad a try. It was so good. Just laying down some color. I just want to randomly lay that color down. Sometimes close together, sometimes far apart, sometimes just a little sliver. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Look at this. It's looking like nature's mandala, isn't it? So exciting for me. I hope it excites you. Yours excites you as much as mine excites me. I hope that you, if you haven't already purchased the Melissa, you will purchase the Melissa and play. Color in some citrus fruit. And the more, like when I'm painting something like this, I get so intent on each little segment. I want each little segment to be exactly what I want it to be. Then that's like a million little pieces of artwork. I love that. I love that. I don't know if the stores that I taught Karin Markers, if they still have those classes up, but I taught a Karin Marker class for Paper and I in Marshall, Michigan. I taught a Karin Marker class for, oh, what's the one in Edmond? Paper. Oh, I can't remember the name. Oh my gosh, you guys. They're making me so happy. They're making me so happy. Dang, ding, dang. Just a sec. Let's see if I can find it. I need to put my glasses on. It's interesting when you put your glasses on, everything has an edge again. Let's see if I can do. Edmond, Oklahoma. Paper Arts is the store in Oklahoma. So I did a Karin Marker class for Paper Arts in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I did a Karin Marker class. I think I might have done a couple for Paper Arts. Excuse me, Paper and I in Marshall, Michigan. So check those out. I went through all kinds of things that you can do with Karin Markers. I give you lots and lots of examples. So let's soften this. Jiggy jaggy blend. Back forth, back forth. Do you see that little line right there? Do you see that white line on the Debbie? You need this kind. This kind. Can you see it? Sometimes in the office supplies, so we're branching out a little bit, I suppose, from school supplies to office supplies, but you're going to love this project. That's another project that's going to be in tomorrow's class. I'm telling you, if you haven't signed up, sign up. And just know it will be live, it will be available in the Facebook group for 30 days, and then I will transfer it over to YouTube, and it'll be in its own private YouTube channel playlist. I'm still getting used to all of the YouTube verbiage. I have a channel. The individual chunks are called playlists. Still figuring that out, you guys. Still figuring it out. Okay, I've gone over. Big surprise, right? Anyway, I'm just so glad you joined me this morning for some Melissa citrusy fun. Be sure to, I will put a link to the Melissa Art Printable at the top of the group. I will also be sure to open your newsletter tomorrow. I've got a little surprise that's going to be in there. And watch my social media, Tessa's social media, Lauren's social media. They are posting cards that they've created with this art printable. Oh my gosh. And Flower Emporium Numbers and More. So much content going out this week. I hope that you you are sure to check it out and are inspired and create from those inspirations. I adore you all. Thank you so much, everybody. Talk to you soon. Lindy, I will put a link to the art printable. The Melissa is this art printable. I adore you all. Bye, everyone.